One thing you could say confidently about WWE is they've been around for so long that they've put out a lot of good and a lot of shit. I confidently say that. And sometimes, especially in recent years, it's easier to remember and more natural to gravitate towards the shit because frankly there's been so much of it. But there have been good times and good moments as well, certainly. But as I look at the WWE landscape in 2025, I sit there and say there's just not much that interests me. There just isn't. But the one thing that could have interested me, the one thing that had me curious, the one thing that made me say, they want to be courageous and they want to be bold and they want to do something different was the whole John Cena heel turn on the road to WrestleMania. I said, oh my God, now that Vince is gone, you can do real fucking business. Oh my God, now that Vince is gone, you can sit there and turn the hero into the hated, even though the hero was always the hated. And by turning him hated, you'll probably make him the hero, and it's this weird fucking dynamic, right? But we're talking about John Cena, a guy I've been waiting for all these years to do something different, finally does it. And now we sit here towards the end of August in the year of our Lord Allah 2025, and we now realize and have to come to grips with the fact that not only was John Cena's heel turn a massive waste of fucking time, it is arguably the worst angle the WWE has ever done. And I don't say that lightly, because I still think of all the shitty angles they've done over the years, and there have been a lot of them, oh my God, of all the shitty booking decisions they've done over the years, and oh my God, where do I even begin? I still think the gold standard of all times, while you could make a strong argument that the Summer of Punk in 2011 was a circle jerk of a clusterfuck of what the hell were you thinking, because it was. If you go back to 2010 and you say the Nexus angle is a great what if and ended up being a massive waste of fucking time because you just served everybody up to Cena, because that's fucking true. As terrible as those were and so many other things were, the gold standard of absolute dog shit is the invasion angle. And I know there are a lot of people that are younger than me by a few years that grew up a little more with the invasion angle and that era of WWF, and they think that shit was great and awesome. It had all these great moments and it had all these great wrestlers and da-da-da. It was fucking dog shit. That's what it was. D-O-G shit. Anybody that likes the invasion angle is fucking psycho. What's appealing about that? Seriously. Look back on that now with fresh eyes over 2+ decades later. Remove your ridiculous sentimentality and appreciate it for the steaming heaping pile of Vince McMahon-laden dog turds that it absolutely fucking was. Everything about it was stupid. It set back wrestling for generations, and it pissed off millions of fans because here you were sitting there for something that we have talked about for so long and obsessed over for so long and thought about for such a long time. We're finally going to get it. What happens if WWF takes on WCW? What happens with an ECW? Well, you fucking found out and you hurt the fans' fucking feelings. And 24 years later, I still won't forgive the WWF for how they handle that shit. And that's where we're at here with this John Cena heel turn. This is something that people had waited for 20 fucking years. 20 years. Like, you've had people wanting this to happen since 2005, 2006. And all throughout, different people come along and like, yeah, it's time for something different. It's time for his character to change. And they never fucking did it, and they never fucking did it, and they never fucking did it. And they would always sit there and pump out their propaganda about John Cena. It's almost like Dallas Cowboys-like in nature or LeBron James-like in nature. Toting this fucking fucking bar for this guy. He's the GOAT and he's the this. And if he was so great, why do you have to go to such fucking lengths to protect him? Why would you have to go back when you re-release like WrestleManias or SummerSlams and you have to dub over his entrances because he got booed so loudly to dub in pumped in canned heat cheers? And we can go on and on and on. When you look at the Cena character, it's very reminiscent in some ways of what you've seen with like recent action movies out of Hollywood, right? And one of the big themes is they've had to go with a strong female lead. And not in like the Linda Hamilton, Sigourney Weaver type of ilk, or even the young like Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia type of ilk, where you're like, these are likable characters. These are characters you get behind. They have struggle. They have to overcome adversity. They grow. They develop. They have a natural character arc. And instead, it's like a fucking Rey from Star Wars, where it's just, I'm strong from the beginning, and I don't need no man's help for nothing, and I have no weaknesses or vulnerabilities. It's a Viola Davis playing a fucking fierce fucking warrior in her mid-fucking 50s, and we're supposed to choke down and buy that shit. And it's just fucking dog shit. Because why would you like the character if there was no reason to get emotionally invested in them? Why would you like the character if they're inherently unrelatable? Why would you like the character if they never have any fucking weakness or vulnerability? And there's a big problem with John Cena for so many years. But now you're getting to the end, and you could argue maybe that the timing wasn't right and it should have been a few years ago, and I would absolutely agree with that assessment, but better late than never. You're getting to a point where if you don't do something with John Cena, it does become a diminishing return. I don't care what anybody else wants to fucking say. Because it's one thing, he's win away, so you get a chance to miss him a little bit, sure. But at some point in time, it's the same old tired fucking act. That shit gets old no matter who the hell you are. So here was an opportunity in 2025 for Cena's last ride, his last time, to do something fundamentally different. And what started off with so much potential and so much promise, you realize was not planned. It was just The Rock wanting to do something. It was just a throwaway. And we couldn't even get 6 months out of it before they turned back Cena to be the same old bullshit. Like, there was so much potential and so many possibilities for what you could do with a Cena here. Fuck them kids. He's burying everybody and he's talking about it. He's coming out in suits. He's not playing his stupid fucking theme music. But as soon as this happened, you could already sense where this is fucking going. It's, well, I'm not changing my shirt, it's mine. It's not changing my music, it's mine. Which is code for, we've made a bunch of fucking merch, we hadn't planned this shit out, so we got to keep hawking the bullshit, so let's not get too crazy here. They kind of dipped their toes in a little bit, but they never fucking fully immersed. And as you get to SummerSlam and he's just dropping the belt back to Cody, this isn't even a Cody reign at this point. It's like, that was fucking pointless. Why have Cena win just to have to drop it back to him a few months later so now he could put his stamp of approval? Like, it's just fucking dumb. And this is why, as much as anything else, I could talk about the relatively shitty creative in wrestling today. Just the general lack of ability to tell interesting stories and develop captivating characters. And it doesn't matter the fucking company you talk about. By and large, it is a systemic, endemic problem of the entire industry as a whole. It's no wonder I don't care about this shit very much anymore. And the one time where I had something where I could say, hey, now that the tribal chief thing is kind of weighing down a little bit and they've kind of great value bastardized it with Solo, I need something else. And here was the something else that could have been captivating, that could have been different, that could have been unique, that could have actually elevated John Cena in terms of all-time view from like, where does he rank among the all-time greats? Because he would have shown that he could be a top guy as a heel and be like a real villain, like a real fucking villain. He fell short. He falls woefully short of the Hogans and the Rocks and the Andres and the Macho Mans and the Flairs in that respect. Like, if you're going to go there, go there. This whole shit we just saw with Cena over the past few months, they couldn't wait to fucking turn him back good guy. They couldn't wait. They couldn't fucking help themselves. Makes you wonder, are we sure Vince McMahon still isn't in charge? Because this is exactly the type of shit he would have done. Put Cena in the Nexus and then immediately take him out. Have Cena lose to Punk at Money in the Bank, and then a few days later you bring it back Punk and you got to tease SummerSlam. Like, you can have Cena, Daniel Bryan is part of the Wyatt family, and then he immediately turns. I'm like, that type of dumb fucking shit, right? What a disappointment. I knew better. Deep down I was wondering, like, when's the rug going to get pulled out? But we had that moment. But all this is going to go down now as is when Cena made that turn, it will be the ultimate what if moment. It will be the ultimate what could have been. It will be the ultimate, well, shit, I wish they would have actually gone there. It'll be the ultimate, you had so much potential for possibilities and you squandered it, screwed the fucking pooch. I could argue, because of who it involved and the amount of time that have been invested over the years in this character, the amount of time that fans have been talking about this, that this is the single stupidest, shittiest fucking storyline that WWE has ever booked. As much as I still want to say the invasion angle was because of the steaming pile of dog dung that it turned out to be, God, if somebody said this Cena shit was the worst ever, I'd be hard-pressed to push back on them. It's that fucking bad. If you want people to invest in your product, in your company, you got to give them reasons to do so. And what I've seen this year is a pretty good reminder and a justification to me of why I just increasingly don't give a shit about it anymore. Our lives are short and very precious, people. Let's not waste our time on shit that's really not going to give us the payoff that we deserve.